And then, suddenly, my mother-in-law, Stacy, stood up in front of everyone and grabbed the microphone, starting to make some shocking statements. I never thought I should have accepted a woman from a single-parent family as my daughter-in-law. She's not the prettiest bride, but please be nice to her, everyone. Don't worry, I'll take it upon myself to discipline her. The crowd was already in a state of shock, but Stacy, tipsy from the drinks, seemed oblivious to it. Then, a man standing in front of her stood up and snatched the microphone from her. Are you done? My name is Marie, a 34-year-old corporate employee. I've been working for the same company since graduating from college, which has been 12 years now. It surprised me how quickly time had flown. Most of my friends are already married or have children. I, on the other hand, have always been career-focused and I'm still single. But now I have a boyfriend whom I cherish. His name is Travis, and we've been dating for about a year. We met at a mixer and he approached me. Though younger, he has a mature, composed demeanor, but sometimes shows his playful, youthful side, which made me fall for him. Out of the blue, he invited me to a fancy restaurant. It wasn't an anniversary, so I wondered why, half expecting something special. Nervously, I went to the upscale restaurant where Travis was already waiting, waving at me with a smile. We talked about our day and enjoyed our meal at the fancy restaurant, which we hadn't done in a while. I was surprised you invited me to a place like this all of a sudden. I thought it would be nice once in a while. Actually, today marks exactly 500 days since we started dating. He showed me the screen of an anniversary app that displayed the number of days we had been together. I realized that this was his way of celebrating a milestone I wasn't even aware of. I had hoped for a proposal, but it seemed that wasn't the case. Still, I was touched that he cared enough to celebrate a day I hadn't noticed. I'm stuffed. I'm really satisfied with the delicious meal we had today. As I said this, he suddenly turned serious and looked at me intently. What's wrong? He swallowed nervously and slowly opened his mouth. Marie, will you marry me? Saying this, he took out a ring box from his suit's inner pocket and opened it to show me. What? I was caught completely off guard. Blinking in surprise, I was speechless for a moment. You mean everything to me. I want you to be my side forever. So, what do you say? Finally regaining my composure, I replied, Yes, of course, I'd be happy to. I said, smiling, suddenly feeling very shy and blushing. Travis was overjoyed, exclaiming, Really? Thank you! I hadn't expected him to catch me off guard with a proposal, but it turned into an unforgettable, beautiful moment. We then visited each other's parents to announce our engagement. I come from a single-parent family, so only my mother was at home. My parents divorced due to a situation involving my grandfather, my father's father, who had accumulated a significant amount of debt. My father decided to divorce so that my mother and I wouldn't be burdened as he worked to repay the debt. Even after the debt was settled, they didn't get back together, and it had been 20 years since the divorce. Travis was nervous when we visited my mother, but she was so friendly and easy to talk to that he relaxed and they got along well in the end. I am so happy a kind man like you is marrying my daughter. Thank you. I promise to make her happy. Hearing him speak so confidently and gallantly in front of us, I felt a bit embarrassed. Well, look at you saying such things so smoothly. You're quite the man. Mom, you don't need to mention that. Why not? It was impressive. Our visit to my family home ended on a warm note. Next, it was time to meet his parents. Nervously, I went to Travis's family home. The greeting I received there was unexpected. I politely introduced myself to my mother-in-law, Stacy, at the entrance. Nice to meet you. I'm Marie. I look forward to getting to know you. I smiled, but she didn't respond and instead turned to Travis. Travis, welcome back. It's been a while. Come on in. She ignored me and welcomed them into the house. Reluctantly, I stepped into what seemed like a challenging future. Inside, Travis's father, Mike, was sitting on the sofa.
Ah, you're Travis's fiancé. Nice to meet you. I'm his father, Mike.
He greeted me with a smile, and I felt a bit relieved as I returned the greeting. He seemed like a kind person, chatting with me warmly. He asked me about my job and family life, while Stacy just nodded along disinterestedly. I politely answered his questions, glancing at her occasionally. Then, at an opportune moment, Stacy interjected. Hold on, I didn't know she was from a single-parent family. Can we really trust her? I was shocked by her sudden, blunt remark. Seeing me at a loss for words, Mike came to my rescue.
Don't talk like that. In this day and age, there are many kids from single-parent homes. Besides, she's still in contact with her dad, isn't she? It's just that her parents don't live together, right?
That may be, but I still can't trust her easily. If a child has problematic parents, they might end up causing the same issues. I won't forgive her if my son ends up divorced because of her. Saying this, she huffed and headed towards the kitchen.
Mom, don't get so upset, please. Sorry about my wife's attitude.
Mike apologized to me. Stacy seemed like a difficult person, but Mike, being more mature and kind, seemed to balance things out. At that time, I still loved Travis and was unaware of his true nature. I couldn't imagine what was to come. Then, Travis and I started preparing for our wedding. While looking through various venue pamphlets and wedding magazines, I was filled with ideas and excitement. However, I was surprised when Stacy came along to the venue visit. Why are you coming with us, Stacy? With a frown, she replied, You don't seem to have a good taste, so I came to help. I was frustrated. She hadn't even seen my choices yet, and was already criticizing my taste. Moreover, it was strange for a mother-in-law to join a wedding venue visit. I suggested to Travis that we should do it alone, but he didn't send her away, saying, Mom's already here, and it's good to have advice from someone who's been to a wedding. In the end, we tried the venue's food and even did a wedding dress fitting with her. She kept imposing her preferences, disliking the menu and the dress I chose, suggesting alternatives to suit her taste. My wedding was turning into what she wanted, and I was really upset by it, especially since Travis didn't stand up for me. He agreed with everything she said, and my opinions were always outnumbered. I wished to at least choose my own wedding dress. Stacy continued to impose her opinions on the invitation design and the reception. I reached my limit, and one day, I talked to Travis. I don't like your mother meddling in our wedding and turning it to her version. She's not listening to me at all, and I want you to tell her to back off. However, his response was disappointing. Mom's just trying to help us have a better wedding by taking time out of her schedule. I'm sad you don't appreciate that. I can't believe this. That's when I realized Travis was a complete mama's boy. I would lose my autonomy if I just followed along. I decided to take matters into my own hands and secretly arranged for a wedding dress without telling them. I reported to them that I had arranged the dress Stacy chose. Months passed, and the wedding day arrived.
Marie, what's with the dress? It's not the one I picked.
Predictably, Stacy was shocked to see that I had secretly chosen a different dress. But I was prepared. I need to assert myself and make my own decisions known to her. This is my wedding. I wear the dress I want. Her eyes widened in anger.
What a disrespectful bride! Do you think you can get away with this?
I won't be intimidated. Don't expect me to always follow your way. I stood my ground firmly. Stacy was fuming.
Quiet! You're about to become a daughter-in-law. You can't defy your mother-in-law.
Our argument escalated, and Mike hurried into the dressing room, hearing us.
Today is about Marie. What are you thinking, yelling at the bride?
His intervention calmed her down.
But Marie, I don't want to hear it. The ceremony is about to start. Let's go.
He said that, and forcibly took her out of the dressing room. I was relieved that she was gone. But something else was bothering me more. Hey, why didn't you just stop the fight when your mother and I were arguing so loudly? Travis was there, but didn't intervene or try to stop her. He just stayed silent.
Well, it wasn't really a big deal, was it?
What are you talking about? It was a huge argument. How can you say it's not a big deal when your wife and mother were fighting like that? As I pressed him, he suddenly slammed his hand on the table.
Enough! This isn't important right now.
I was taken aback by his sudden outburst. He realized he had lost his temper and became flustered.
Sorry. I was just lost in thought.
Lost in thought about what at a time like this?
Actually, the company president decided to attend our wedding today.
The president?
Yeah, the department head has some urgent business, and when the president heard about it, he decided to come instead.
Oh, really? And what's this lost in thought about?
What do you think? It's nerve-wracking. The president is coming. And if I make a good impression, maybe I could even get a promotion, you know?
Is that how it works? I couldn't quite understand his thinking that a good wedding might lead to a promotion, but I didn't want to stir up more trouble, especially since the ceremony was about to start, so I let it go. The wedding ceremony began smoothly, and Stacy behaved, so I was relieved for the moment. Then we moved on to the reception. My friends praised the dress I chose, which made me glad I had picked it myself. The reception was going well, until Stacy caused the scene. As the MC announced a speech by a friend of the bride, Stacy suddenly stood up and walked towards the stage, staggering as if she were drunk. Then she grabbed the microphone and made a shocking statement. Let me have your attention for a moment. Thank you all for gathering here today for my son Travis, but his bride is just terrible. I'm sorry to say she's a disappointment. I was dumbfounded. What was she talking about? The room went cold with her words, but she didn't stop, continuing to insult me. I never thought I should have accepted a woman from a single-parent family as my daughter-in-law. She's not the prettiest bride, but please bear with her. I'll take responsibility and discipline her. The crowd was appalled, but Stacy, drunk, seemed unaware. Then a man in front of her stood up and snatched the microphone.
This is intolerable. Can't you see the room is appalled? Who the hell are you? I'm speaking here. Give me back the microphone.
She was furious at being interrupted.
I'm the groom's mother. Do you think you can disrupt the ceremony like this?
The man sighed.
Are you done?
Then Travis rushed over to them.
Mom, what are you doing? This man is the president of the company where I work.
What?
Hello, I'm Peter McGill, president of XX Company. Mr. McGill, I'm terribly sorry my mother has behaved this way at a ceremony you graciously attended. I didn't come here for you.
Dad, why didn't you tell me you were coming? Weren't you in Europe for business meetings? Travis and Stacy looked shocked as I approached the three of them.
Wait, the president is your dad?
Yes, he's my father.
I came here for my daughter's wedding, not for you. My business meeting in Europe was rescheduled for the next week, and when I heard the department head couldn't attend, I flew here. I wanted to surprise my daughter.
That's not a surprise. What happened to reporting, informing, and consulting like a good businessman?
Sorry, I didn't expect to be lectured by my daughter here.
The room finally burst into laughter at my father's words, but Travis and Stacy remained pale-faced. Seeing this, my father-in-law, Mike, hurried over and said,
I apologize for the trouble caused by my foolish wife and son.
The room erupted in laughter at this exchange. Seizing the moment, I took the microphone from my father and announced a major decision. I've just decided. I'm cutting ties with his mama boy and his mother. I will return the gifts to everyone who came here today. Please enjoy the rest of the time as a dinner party. There was applause from the crowd. Everyone probably thought it was better for me not to marry into a family with such a mother-in-law.
Don't decide things on your own.
Exactly. I won't allow a broken engagement. While Travis and Stacy were protesting, my father turned to them with a stern look and said,
Travis, I can't forgive what your mother said to my daughter. If you're okay with losing your job, go ahead and yell at her. No, please. I beg you, spare me that. Besides, it was my mother who was yelling.
Wait, Travis, are you betraying me? Stacy clung to him, but Mike pulled her away.
Enough. I can't stand it anymore. I want a divorce.
Wait, please.
I don't care. Leave your life alone.
After apologizing to me and my father, he left the venue. I went with my father to my mother's table, and the three of us enjoyed our meal together. Travis apologized to my father, but he was completely ignored. After that, Travis and I broke our engagement. He angered my father, the company president, and was demoted to a regional branch. Unhappy with the prospect of no career advancement and demotion, he resigned. Stacy was indeed left by her husband and ended up moving in with their son. However, he was angry at her for causing the situation, and their relationship became strained and hostile. As for me, I continued to work hard and was recently promoted to department head. My parents, who reunited at the wedding, began to reminisce about old times and now meet regularly. Whether they remarry or not, it's nice to see them getting along as a child. I hope to find a partner with whom I can have a friendship-like relationship, like my parents. But for now, with my promotion and increased responsibilities, I'll focus on my career.